In order to make the 3D pop-up magazine collages, you're going to need some squares of poster board and your rectangle and longer rectangle of foam board that you still have left over from the cutouts of your museum wall, some scissors, a glue stick, a cutting mat. You've got 4 walls that will be available for you to place your artwork. Now, the panels will need to go vertically. They will not fit horizontally unless you use the long, skinny one and cut that one in half. You need to make sure whatever you make will fit on one of your available walls. And you can see putting it sideways, just it hangs out off the wall. So you're going to be looking for 2 complementary images, and the way you determine them to be complementary is going to be up to you. Maybe it will be 2 similar subject matters, or maybe you'll just like the color relationship or scale relationship. That's going to be up to you. But I found this image of a bug, and I thought it'd be interesting to have that bug holding this painting of a cow. So I'm cutting out the cow painting, and I'm going to see what he looks like with the bug holding him. And I thought that looked okay. So now I'm cutting out a section of that bug that is the same size as the foam panel I will have to mount it to. And now I'm just looking around for other possible images because the cow thing really didn't work out. And there's Neil deGrasse Tyson. And I thought, oh, he's got an interesting look on his face. Maybe the bug will be holding Neil deGrasse Tyson. So I'm cutting out pieces of him and trimming him right along the edge of his body. And now I'm going to take a look at that combination on the background of my foam board and just see what it looks like. And actually I decided that that looked a little too busy, that there was too much going on. They kind of blurred or blended together in a way that I just didn't like. The 2 pieces didn't have real distinction. So after playing with that combination for a while, I decided to keep looking, and ultimately I thought the picture of Neil deGrasse Tyson was a little more interesting than the bug. So I started looking for something to go with him and just discard the bug altogether. So back flipping through the magazine, I find this pink unicorn with nice big wings sitting on top of a car, and it seemed to kind of fit his expression and the way his hand is raised up. So here I'm trying to size it up and see if I could fit enough of it onto my vertical piece of foam that it would work together, that they would complement one another. So I'm using the foam board just as kind of a measuring tool and trying to get a good idea of where I might cut. So I ended up cutting out the entire unicorn, and then you're going to mount your cutouts onto pieces of poster board, and that makes them a little more rigid so that when you pop them out from the background, they will be supported. They won't just be a floppy, thin piece of magazine paper. So once you mount your image to poster board, then you're going to make these little strips that are going to be the springs that hold your image off of the background and actually bring it forward a little bit to make the piece more dimensional. So I've just cut a little strip of poster board, glued it to itself, put a little glue on the outside, then I'm putting it on the back of the unicorn, I'm using the scissors to make it kind of open up a little bit, make it a little more thick, and then a little more glue on the back, and then I'm just kind of trying to figure out where to hover him above Neil deGrasse Tyson. Now, I haven't put anything on the back of him yet, but I do need something, so I'm just cutting out a big square that will fit and firm him up a little bit so he doesn't flop over. So again, just a little bit of glue stick, and then I will be able to bring him forward. Actually, I'm just leaning the top of him out toward us. The lower half of him will be stuck down to the background, but here I'm just making a little spring out of poster board that will bring him out, and you can see he's kind of flopping out there. So the basic structure of this guy is done. Now I just need to put a little frame around it. I don't have to, but I think since I left the background white, I think the edges would just blend in with the white wall of the gallery. So making a black frame out of poster board about 1/4 of an inch wider than the actual edge of my collage will help distinguish the edge of the piece from the wall of the museum. So you can see there's a nicer contrast there. So I'm just going to put some glue stick on the back of the foam board, stick it to my little frame, and then I'm going to check it out in my gallery and see what it looks like. And then I've got the other one that I made the other day that is a guy hanging from a parachute. Now that one came from 2 different images as well. I found the parachute and I found a little image of a guy jumping off of a boat and combined those. And ultimately, when you find the wall that you want to put it on, all you need to do is put a little glue stick on the back of it and stick it right where you want it, and voila, you have a lovely miniature piece of art. Good job.